Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and before I do start, let me just say a few things. Now, nearly 2 weeks ago, I took a blow to the front of my head that was not very good. It sent me to the ground, and I do want to say that it was pretty bad. Now, the doctor told me that it was the type of concussion that will linger. It's not one where I had to get a CAT scan or anything, or do a CT scan. I believe that's what they told me. Now, this has stopped me from doing any more story writing, if not any more recording. If you guys do know the way I do things, you'll understand. I don't put words to paper. I keep things in my head and then go that way. It's just how I write my scripts. Anyways, you just saw me kind of do that there. Now, I'm trying to record these because I'm trying to see how my brain is at the current moment to record. And I have had those little moments where I've had to stop or I just misplace the words in my head. Now, I want to get content out to you guys. You guys know how I am, and I'm sure if you guys have been around, you see that sometimes when I don't post things, it drives me crazy. Now, with that all being said, let us get into this story because I have thought of this one for a bit of time. And I do have the old information right here in front of me written down. Let us start with Izuku Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya was born in a world where people had superpowers. Unfortunately, he was born without a quirk, and whenever he was very young, some things happened. He was 10 years old when the Nite event, it went worldwide. People got affected by nanites. The world was in a bit of chaos for a bit of time. Pro heroes tried to handle what they could. Providence. They tried to get control of the situation, and they were eventually able to do so. However, the bug jars, they were something they had to implement. Evos were running rampant, but the day they discovered Izuku was the day things changed. He was a young man, a boy, who could cure Evos, something that was not thought possible. And this changed their mission. Capture, kill. To capture and cure. This meant a bit. There were people who held out hope that their loved ones, turned Evo, could be human again. And with the fact that he Deku existed, it kept that hope alive. The world they have been trying to recover from the Nite event. A generation that could have had bases on the moon and people heading to Mars. They had a lot to deal with. And we do currently have today. Today is quite interesting. A giant Evo mutated. They're currently rampaging downtown, and pro heroes, they have been trying to handle it. Though the ones that are here have not been doing very good. They have had to call in some of the stronger pros to handle this Evo. This monster that already has taken down Mount Lady. She could not handle it. It was too strong for her. It was her size, but it was more powerful. And that it wasn't very good. It was just crazy. And she had to retreat. If she kept going, there would have been a lot more damage, and they might have had to evacuate the entire city for a giant battle. And currently they've been trying to do alternate methods to take this thing out. And currently we do have a pro hero. One who does a slam themselves into this Evo as hard as they can. Them going to throw their hands outwards and push off, before they're sent flying through the air and spinning. Them smashing their feet against the wall and leaping out forwards again. This time, them spinning their body and sending a massive kick blow directly into the Evo. It slightly moving, as is a smash on their building. Currently them hearing in their earpiece about how Providence, they are currently 5 minutes away. And the hero, they're not too happy about that. Agents have already been moving in, and they have not gotten any word as to what the hell is going on. Providence, from what they understand, has been on the sidelines. Pros keep moving in, and they don't have anything. And we do currently have Izuku. Izuku just sits in a dark room. Him wondering about what to do, wondering about what's going to happen. He's going to take on another Evo. He's supposed to be the one person they have to handle the situation. Currently him hearing about how they need to land nearby. And Deku doesn't really like that. Him bending down and going to begin to manipulate the floor. Him going to open the controls to the hatch. Before he does, gonna lower his goggles and fall forwards. Currently him down and into the real world. The ship still flying overhead as Deku does begin to move. Him going into a straight nosedive. And this does mean quite a bit. Currently him seeing the massive Evo rampaging around the city before bringing his hands up and getting ready. And the pro, they do go to be sent flying backwards and smashing down. Them looking around and seeing some civilians in the area for turning and yelling. And there actually is Ingenium, who does come running by and grabbing some people, for other pros to turn and begin to try and coordinate events, tell them about what's happening. And Mirko is to turn back to the massive Evo above, seeing this creature as she's wondering about what the hell they can do. This one's big, the biggest they've probably seen. Mountain Lady's not in the option. Kamari Woods, no, he wouldn't help. And Genium, no, not him. This thing's too strong, too massive, not good. Her kicks are effective. Take out its massive limbs. Shit, it's almost like a walking tree. Multiple legs. Okay, coordinated attacks. Take it out. Shit. They're still in this area. Civilians in every block. Okay. Evacuate the side of the city. That would take minutes. Mirko trying to roll through it in her mind. The best tactic to save the most lives. Her looking up and staring at this Evo. Ready to try anything. Her currently moving in to try and take out one of the legs. As Deku brings his hands together and then does gonna form giant fist. Currently him smashing directly in to the face of the Evo. Before it does go careening down and beginning to go off balance. Deku going to throw his hands out and then begin to deconstruct them. Then shrinking down as he does begin creating a jetpack flying back around. Currently him moving up into the air and going to turn before firing out his technology directly at the creature. It being struck in the face as Deku, he does going to have these things wrap around the Evo and it's beginning to fly around. Currently him pulling it back up and trying to make it more off balance. Currently it overcorrecting itself and smashing the giant building. For Deku, he has a turn. Him looking down before he does begin to reel in. Him flying around the Evo and deconstructing this thing, smashing onto its back and grabbing on. Before he has to bring his hand up and begin to try and heal. Currently Deku's nanites begin to try and absorb these Evo nanites. Now, the Evo, it does begin to freeze. Currently it's screeching out in pain and trying to move. Deku currently holding on for this rodeo. And Mirko doesn't see that. Before the Evo, it does begin to shrink down. And Izuku, he does stand there. Currently, him holding on to the person as they are unconscious. Him lowering them down before he's going to turn and look around. Multiple people staring at him. Before he's going to look up and try and see if Providence is nearby. Currently him turning and seeing a camera recording. Bringing his hand up and throwing up a thumbs up. Before the people, they stare at him in awe. Because he just took down an Evo like it was Nothing. I mean, that was. What? What was that? The person turning back to the camera before Mirako stares at him. And he does get a turn, currently walking over to some Providence agents before he does go to leave. And we do currently have in his earpiece, while Deku is sitting down, hearing Six and the Doctor talking about a lot, along with the Commander in Chief talking about it, asking if Deku really thinks that that was a good idea. What? Do you think that jumping in like that was an option? Something that you could just do? What was I supposed to do? I was still on the transport. Did you want me to just wait? No, you were supposed to follow orders. Follow orders. Sure, follow orders. How long would that have taken? I went in and I got the thing taken down. You destroyed an apartment complex. You're lucky people were evacuated minutes ago. Unlucky? Are you serious? You're serious about that? Izuku, you really shouldn't have tried. Tried? Six, do you hear yourself? No, you didn't let me finish. You shouldn't have tried to overcorrect it. You weren't thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I mean, I used its weight against itself. Wasn't that what I was supposed to do? Besides, it didn't expect to move that much, that fast. I still got it, I still cured it. So what's the problem? The problem is, Zuko, the doctor going to cut in. What you did was dangerous. How did you know that the apartment building was empty? I took a guess. Your gamble could have been wrong. Are you sure you want that on your conscience? I'm just saying, I thought it was evacuated. Okay, is that really so wrong? Izuku, you still have a lot to learn. Okay, but you have to let me try. I mean, I want to be a pro. Let me go out there. Let me do more. I mean, I can't just be cooped up by Providence all day. Listen, we can talk, figure something out, see what we can do. For right now, head back. That is an order. The commander going to cut off this channel. And Izuku does sit there. Currently Six trying to talk to him, as the doctor does try to ask some questions about his body right now, how he's feeling. They don't need a repeat of his overload, especially if he takes on too many nanites at once. Does he need to offload any? Is he okay? How are things going in that brain of his? And he does answer these questions the same way he always does. Other than the usual problems, he's fine. He's bored. Everybody out there in the world has their own thing going on. Yet here he is in a Providence base, 15 years old, by himself. They send him out on missions, and that's all he's got. All he knows is his name, and that's it. Izuku Midoriya, Japanese, in Japan, and then there's outside. Where's he supposed to go? Who knows? Where are his parents? Who knows? Any family? No. Providence found him and brought him in. That's all he remembers. And the doctor? They do understand. Izuku's a very special case. With Evos running rampant, there's him, and how he fits into the equation. Him going to leave the medical bay as he does go to walk down the corridor, heading back to his small room, thinking about what to do. He's annoyed. He's bored? I mean, going out there and fighting Evos is one thing. Seeing the world but not experiencing it is another. I mean, it's not fair. It really isn't. But he has been trying to work on that. Currently, him laying in his bed, thinking about if it's the right time. Guards usually do patrol the hallways, but they're just walking around. And if he's right, he's fairly certain one of them might be going to break. So he should be able to sneak out and get out. That can definitely be helpful. Do quite a lot for him. Currently, Deku waiting on standby before he does to open his door, turning and looking down the corridor before not seeing anybody. And he does gonna make his getaway. Him also heading down and through the zoo. Now, Deku, he does go for a little bit of fun. And Providence, they were trying to talk with the Hero Association, figure things out, and handle the fallout from everything that's been happening. Evos are popping up a little bit more, and it hasn't been good for neither side. I mean, at the rate they're currently going, they might be looking at another Nite event, possibly a repeat of what happened a few years ago, where people became Evos too fast and they had to take some drastic measures to keep them in isolation. I mean, there's a possibility of it happening again, and that could be the worst outcome. This could just be a local pandemic, however. But if it does turn out to be global, then they might have their work cut out for them. And that's a terrifying thought. Now, we do have a few days later, where the Hero Association, they've gathered members of the top 10. They are here to discuss things with a prominence liaison, along with one of their people. And Deku, he does a walk into the room with some people here. Him looking around and seeing some of the top heroes of Japan. Endeavor, Mirako, Best Jeanist among them. However, one that is notably missing at the moment is the number 1 hero. And Izuku, he does go to turn, watching the person from Providence sit down as 6 does a stand there. Mirako turning and pointing out that the kid, he did pretty damn good taking down that giant thing. Thanks. You weren't too bad yourself. Though, you gotta be careful with them. What you mean? I've fought Nevas before. Not that difficult. Yeah, they can be unpredictable though. Yeah, kid. Being a pro, we expect that. Best Jeanist going to somewhat lean forwards, bringing his hands up in front of him. Going to wait. However, Endeavor, he does remain sitting there, his pouting face and arms crossed. Currently, him not very happy, since he's here, and All Might is not. This time can be better suited to saving lives, stopping more Evos and villains. Yet, All Might is absent. This definitely does annoy him. And the person from Providence does try to speak, continuing on about the events that have happened. Also talking about how things have not been very good between the government and the Hero Association. Along with the fact that Providence, they're not exactly a branch of the government. They're a privately funded organization, which has taken it upon themselves to track Evos, contain them, and also try to now cure them. And the person is talking. Deku walking over to All Might's chair before he's to sit down in it and throw his feet onto the table. Currently Endeavor turning his head as everyone does to hear Izuku begin to speak. Listen, I've just got something to add. The person from Providence turning their head, their face dropping. I know it's a whole thing going on, and you guys are concerned. I mean, Evo's popping up, these things being problems. Along with what I've heard apparently from a few places, I don't really know. Listen, Providence should be able to handle it. Yes, it's supposed to be a little difficult, but hey, I can cure it. You really expect us to believe that? Deku turning to Endeavor. Currently, him somewhat shuffling his body. The man expressing. Bring his left arm down and leaning in towards Deku. If he does really think that he can cure all the Evos, he should try. He should make sure that that is his top priority. If he can't do that, then he does not deserve to sit in that chair. Does he understand? And Deku does a silent smile, bringing his hand up to his goggles and pulling him down, talking about how he really should get going. Him going to stand up and turn, for walking over towards the open door. Currently, him standing there for his turn, looking back and telling Endeavor, maybe one day they can talk again, see exactly what happens. As far as he's concerned, he's got his own stuff to deal with, and Providence, they can call him when they need it. But he's got a lot to figure out himself, especially with his freaking powers of his. The emergence of Evos affected him pretty damn well too. So if he's got a problem, figure it out, because he's got a lot on his plate already. Him gonna turn, run out him leaping off and creating his glider, before he is a fly into the distance. And the person from Providence does go to somewhat adjust their tie, talking about how if they could get back to everything, then they can go over a lot that the Hero Association does need to be made aware of, especially with the Evo technology and the, equipment they have been providing. So is this a game to you? No, no, sir. Mr. Nivero, I can assure you, our organization, we take great pride in dealing with these creatures. You mean people? Yes, Mr. Endeavor, people. However, you see my confusion with all of this. The debate people also have with this, the strange things that happen with Evos. Yes, that is another story. The alterations that do appear to pop up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Endeavor going to stare at the man, his eyes narrowing and talking about it. Don't they have a term for those situations? Especially if the Nites infect an individual? What was the term? Mr. Endeavor, you expressing concern, grievances with our organization? No, I'm simply stating a fact. NPA. Isn't that what people call it? Nanite powered abilities. But we also have multiple terms for it. It's still a new recent phenomenon. As you have met Izuku, he, from our understanding, is one of these individuals. I see. And you do see our concerns with Providence having that. Huh. Okay. I see what this is. Endeavor, Mr. Endeavor. I can assure you, Providence has the best interest of the world at heart. Now, I do believe this meeting is over. I can at least agree to that. The man gonna stand and going to quickly make his way from the room. And we do actually have Deku. Deku, he landed somewhere. He was bored and he was annoyed. He wanted to just get rid of some of his frustrations, get away from Providence, get away from Six, get away from everybody, be a kid. And he found himself at the mall, wondering about what to do, wondering about what could happen and how things could be different. Currently, him standing in a store as he is looking at some vinyl albums. Him pulling one up about a band. Huh. Okay. Maybe. That's kind of interesting. Okay. No, no. That one's old. That one's bad. Ooh, this one does look retro. Hmm. Not bad, not bad. Do they have CDs? Doubt Providence will give me a CD player. Well, on a vinyl player? No, that's older tech. Maybe I could fix one? Maybe it wouldn't be that hard. Convince them to at least give me something? Right, right. They won't even let me have a freaking phone. Okay, so. Oh, what could I do then? Maybe not really a good idea. Hmm. Him going to turn. Currently, him seeing a girl who is staring at a few albums herself. Her holding one and thinking about it as she says stare at the cover. Deku, somewhat, turning his head a little bit more and seeing her. She's got long hair and she looks kinda cute. Oh, wow. Wait. What is he? Maybe talk to her? Yeah, talk. Talk to her. That's what he should do. Talk to her and see if he can strike a conversation, get her name. Who is he kidding? He doesn't know how to talk to people. It might blow up in his face. It could be bad. It could be. You okay? Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stare. No, you're all right. You look familiar. Have I seen you before? Have you been here? No, no. Honestly, it's my first time at the mall, let alone the store. I mean, I'm looking at a few things here. Not really too sure how to. Well, um, looking at what? Do you have a taste in anything in particular, or are you just looking? Well, um, you see, there's a whole complicated thing about that. I don't actually listen to a lot of music. Oh, really? Yeah. Kinda spend a lot of my time fighting Evos. Really? Yeah. You know, you've probably seen me on the news. Yeah, okay. I don't need you to try and impress me. I'll see you around. The girl gonna walk away. And Deku, he does this won't stand there. Him turning back and looking a little dejected. He didn't tell a lie, but apparently she didn't know him. Great, great, that's perfect. Ham's not gonna sigh before he does go to leave, heading back to Providence and trying to figure out what the next step might be, what the next mission could potentially be, and where he might be needed. With that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next mini shot.